Hello everyone, welcome to Allied Legdom channel. Today's topic is about bones. Okay, let's go into the topic. First, we should know what is skeletal system. Skeletal system consists of bones, cartilage, tendons, which forms the framework or supporting framework of the body. Adult skeleton consists of 206 bones, while the bones in the just born babies is about 213 with high percentage of cartilage, but in adults the percentage of cartilage is low because it is fused to form new bones. This process is known as cartilaginous ossification. Okay, bones are rigid structures. They are made up of connective tissues. Osteon is the functional unit of bones. Okay, these bones living tissues, these are the living tissues which is capable of growth. If any injury is absent, it has a capable of growth and perform vast number of functions. Bones are the reservoirs of calcium, of 99% of calcium of our body. They have greater regenerative power. It can mold itself, that is bones can change its position to stress and strain. Next is the functions of skeleton. The skeletal forms the framework of the body that gives shape and structure to the body. It anchors and supports all the muscles and even organs. The skeletal system protects the vital organs such as brain, spinal cord, heart and lungs. The skeletal system is a place which stores fat, minerals such as calcium, which is responsible for muscle contraction, provides movement to the body. Blood cells are formed in the center of many bones in the soft tissue called marrow. Bone marrow is responsible for new blood cell formation. Next is the composition of bones. Bones are composed of bone cells and extracellular matrix. Under bone cells we have osteoblast, osteocytes, osteoclast and osteoprogenitor cells. Osteoblasts and osteocytes are derived from osteoprogenitor cells. Osteoblasts are bone forming cells. They secrete bone matrix. They are responsible for the mineralization of the bone tissue. When osteoblasts are trapped in the matrix which they have secreted, then they become osteocytes. Osteoclast is derived from the same cells from which macrophage and monocytes are formed. Osteoclasts are responsible for resorption of bone, which is also used responsible for demineralization of bone. Important role in remodeling of bone and also recycle the matrix. Okay, the extracellular matrix. Under extracellular matrix we have organic and inorganic. Under organic we have collagen fibers, mucopolysaccharides, non-collagen proteins. Under inorganic we have calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, potassium, sodium citrate. The inorganic calcium salts, mainly calcium phosphate, calcium carbonate and traces of other salt, make the bone hard and rigid, which can afford resistance to compressive forces of weight bearing and impact forces of jumping. The inorganic calcium salts are responsible for the hardness and rigidity of the bone. The organic connective tissue, that is collagen fibers, makes the bone tough and resilient, that is flexible, which can afford resistance to tensile strength forces. In strength, bone is comparable to iron and steel. The organic connective tissue is responsible for the flexibility and toughness of the bone. Next is the classification of bones. The skeletal system can be divided into two, that is axial and appendicular systems. In an adult body, it is mainly composed of 206 bones individually. Individual bones which are organized into two main divisions, that is axial and appendicular. Axial skeleton. The axial skeleton runs along the medial longitudinal axis of the body. It comprises 80 bones. It forms a main structure such as skull, vertebral column, sternum, and ribs. The skeletal of the head is called skull. It rests on the upper end of the vertebral column, and the bony structure of the skull consists of 4 parts, that is cranium, facial bones, hyoid, and ear bones. The cranium consists of 8 bones. Cranium is a hollow and nearly rounded bony structure which protects the brain. It is made up of 8 bones called cranial bones. They are fused together to form a sutures. At the base of the skull there is a large opening called foramen magnum, through which the brain communicates with the spinal cord. The 8 cranial bones are frontal, parietal, 2 parietal, 2 temporal, 1 occipital, 1 sigmoid, and 1 ethmoid bones. Next is ear ossicles. The middle ear has 3 bones called ear ossicles which helps in the amplification of sound. These bones are malleus, incus, and stapes. Next is the facial bone. Facial bone consists of front part of the skull, skeletal of lower jaw, heart, palate, and nose. Mandible forms the lower jaw, and it is the strongest, largest, and only movable facial bone, while others are immovable facial bone. There are 14 facial bones, that is 2 nasal, 2 maxillar, 2 zygomatic, 2 lacrimal, 2 palatine, 2 inferior nasal concave, 1 vomer, and 1 mandible. While mandible is the lower jaw and it is a movable facial bone. Next is the hyoid bone. The hyoid bone is a U-shaped bone which is present at the base of buccal cavity, that is base of the tongue and above the larynx. The hyoid bone together with the tongue forms an hyoid apparatus. The only bone, hyoid bone, is the only bone in our body which do not articulate with any other bone, is called hyoid bone, that is it do not communicate with any other bone. Functions of the skull is the most important function of the skull is to protect the brain, and this function is mainly carried out by the cranium. The skull bears jaw which helps in the animal in cutting and mastification food. Ear bones helps in amplification of sound. It protects and supports the special sense organs. Next is the vertebral column. The vertebral column is also known as backbone. It lies in the mid dorsal region of the neck and trunk. It is made up of 26 serically arranged units called vertebra. Between 2 adjacent vertebrae, a disc or pad of fibrous cartilage is present which provides the flexibility of the vertebral column. The pads or disc of cartilage present between the vertebrae is called as intervertebral disc. A hollow central portion occurs in each vertebra which together form a structure through which the spinal cord passes. This is known as neuronal canal. Vertebral column protects the spinal cord, supports the head and serves as a point of attachment for these ribs and musculature of the back. Types of vertebra, there are 5 types of vertebra. The vertebral column is divided into 5, that is first one is 7 cervical vertebra, 12 thoracic vertebra, 5 lumbar vertebra, and 5 sacral which is fused and forms one sacral vertebra and 1 fused coccyx, that is 4 bones is fused together. Totally we have 26 vertebra in our body. The curves of vertebral column there are 4 curves, that is cervical curve, thoracic curve, lumbar curve, and pelvic curve. The main function of the vertebral column is to protect the spinal cord and supports the head and serves as a point of attachment for ribs and musculature of back. Next is the sternum. It is a flat bone present on the ventral midline of the thorax. It is present just under the skin in the middle of the chest. The sternum forms a protective covering which protects the internal organs present in the thoracic region. It provides a surface where muscles attach and help in the respiratory mechanism. Next is the ribs. It is a thin flat bone. There are 12 pair of ribs. The ribs attach to the thoracic vertebra at the dorsal end and sternum at the ventral end. There are 3 types of ribs, that is true ribs, false ribs and floating ribs. True ribs are known as vertebrosternal ribs. The first 7 pairs of ribs are true ribs. They are dorsally attached to the thoracic vertebrae and ventrally attached to the sternum with the help of hyaline cartilage. False ribs are also known as vertebrochondral ribs. There are the first 3 pairs, that is 8th, 9th and 10th pair do not directly articulate with the sternum. They join the 7th pair of ribs and hence they are called as false ribs. Last one is the floating ribs. It is also known as vertebral ribs. The 11th and 12th pair of ribs are called as floating ribs because one end of the rib is attached to the vertebral column and the other end is free. The floating ribs plays an important role in to protect the kidneys. Next is appendicular skeleton. There are 126 bones in the appendicular skeleton. The appendicular skeletal system includes the skeleton of limbs and the pectoral and the pelvic girdle. The girdle which supports the forelimbs is called pectoral girdle. The girdle which supports the hind limbs, that is lower limbs, is called pelvic girdle. Okay, pectoral. We will see about pectoral or shoulder girdle. It is a bony complex which occurs between the forelimbs and the axial skeleton. It consists of 2 halves, that is right and left. Each half consists of 2 bones, that is clavicle and scapula. In pectoral girdle there are 2 bones, that is clavicle and scapula. Scapula or shoulder blade. It is a thin and flat triangular bone which extends on the back side of the thoracic between 2nd and 7th rib. It consists of a sharp ridge, spine and triangular body. The one end of the spine is processed thick acromion processes. The acromion is the flattened, expanded and articulates with the clavicle. The acromion will articulate with the clavicle. The superior lateral end of the scapula contains a hook-like structure called coracoid process which binds to the tendon. Acromion will articulate with the clavicle, coracoid will bind to the tendon and scapula has a shallow articulate surface called glenoid cavity. The glenoid cavity articulates with the head of the humerus to form shoulder joint. The acromion process will articulate with the clavicle, the coracoid process will bind to the tendon and the glenoid cavity articulates with the head of the humerus to form shoulder joint. Next is the clavicle or collar bone. It is a S-shaped bone, thin elongated bone which have curves at 2 places, that is 2 curvatures. It is connected with acromion process of scapula at one end and another is connected to the sternum. The 2 ends is connected to 2 different parts, that is one part is connected, one end is connected to the acromion process and another end is connected to the sternum. Next is the pelvic or hip girdle. The pelvic or hip girdle. Pelvic girdle is an irregular tough shaped supporting bone. The pelvic girdle is attached posteriorly to the sacrum. The sacrum and coccyx form the basin shaped pelvis. The pelvic girdle consists of 2 coxal or innominate bones. The 2 halves of the pelvic girdle meet ventrically to form a pubic symphysis. The pubic symphysis contains a fibrous cartilage. Okay, each coxal or innominate bone is formed of 3 bones, that is upper ilium, inner pubis and ischium. Below the pubis, ischium is below the pubis. These 3 bones are fused to form hip bone. The point where these three bones meet, a cup shaped hollow cavity is present called acetabulum. That is a thigh bone or femur articulates with the acetabulum. The pelvic girdle consists of three bones, that is innominate bone, upper ilium, ischium and pubis. These three forms a fuse to form a hip bone. The point where these three bones meet, there is a hollow cavity called acetabulum, where the femur articulates with the acetabulum. Okay, next is the limb bones. There are two pairs of limbs present in our body, that is forelimbs and hind limbs. Forelimbs is also known as upper limb, hind limbs are also known as lower limbs. Both forelimbs and hind limbs contains 30 bones each. Forelimbs in human, a pair of forelimbs is present. Each forelimb has 30 bones which form the three different parts of arm, namely upper arm, lower arm or forearm and hand. The single long bone of the upper arm is called humerus. The two bones present at the lower arm is called ulna and radius. These two bones are either parallel or cross each other. The radius is shorter than the ulna. The hand has 27 bones, where 8 bones are present in the wrist region, is also known as carpals. 5 bones are present in the palm region. Palm region is also known as metacarpals. 14 bones are present in the fingers. It is known as phalanges. Okay, the 8 bones of the wrist are called carpals. The 5 bones of the palm are called metacarpals, and the 14 bones of the fingers are called phalanges. Next is the hind bones, in which a pair of hind limbs is present. Each hind limb has 30 bones which form thigh, shank, knee and foot. The single longest and strongest bone present in the thigh is called femur. The 2 bones present in the shank region are called tibia and fibula. The 7 bones of the ankle are called tarsal. The 5 bones present on the sole are called metatarsal, and 14 bones that form toes are called phalanges. Among tarsals, calcaneum, one bone called calcaneum is formed the heel bone. The 7 tarsal bones, 5 metatarsal and 14 phalangeal bone. Okay, in our now we will see a short summary of the skeletal system. Our human body consists of 206 bones. On regional basis is divided into 2 types, that is axial and appendicular. Under axial we have 80 bones, appendicular we have 126 bones. Axial is subdivided into skull, vertebral column, ribs and sternum. Skull is consist of facial bone, 14 facial bones, 8 cranial bones, 6 ear ossicles, hyoid, 1 hyoid bone. Vertebral column consists of 26 bones. Ribs and sternum consist of 24 bones, and sternum is a single bone plus 1 which is equal to 25. Appendicular skeletal system consists of 2 girdle bones and limb bones. Girdle bones is subdivided into pelvic girdle, 2 pelvic girdle, that is scapula and clavicle. Pectoral girdle is 4, 3 innominate bones, acetabulum, pubic symphysis, ilium, ischium and pubis. Next is the limb bones. There are 2 types of limb bones, that is upper limb and lower limb. Upper limb is also known as forelimb. In lower limb is also known as hind limb. In upper limb we have humerus, 2 humerus, 2 radius in each hand. Humerus is the longest and strongest bone. Radius and ulna, 8 carpals, 5 metacarpals and 14 phalangeous bones. In lower limb we have femur, 2 femur, 2 tibia, 2 fibula, 7, that is 14 tarsal, 10 metatarsal and 28 phalanges. In each hand we have one. Totally the limb bones is 120. Okay, in next class we will see about the classification and structure of bones. We came to an end. I hope you understood what is bones. Thank you for listening. For more videos, please do subscribe our channel.